Um, Good morning. We're getting back onto our series about the human and sex trafficking American style. Okay, so this is going to be part 2 to our series. But before we get into it, I just want to relay the under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowance is made fair use for the purpose which such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Okay, so now we're going to get into our human/sex trafficking American style. This is serious business, ladies. You need to understand something. This human trafficking, it really started like 400 years ago. 400 or 500 years ago were some of your first cases of human trafficking, sex trafficking, organ and the like. There's myriad forms of trafficking that I would get into throughout this series. But with regards to human and sex trafficking, this started with slavery. You know, when we were brought here as chattel, not even as human beings, but as property. And because black women and girls was part of that property, part of that chattel, part of that trafficking, okay, good old historical American style, we had no rights, we had no liberties to speak of. And this went on for 400 years, with Jim Crow being a spinoff of slavery, which was for another 100 some odd years. This is why right now you have black women and girls being the ultimate victims of human trafficking and sex trafficking. I'm going to tell you, because there's a value factor involved here. Just because we're more inclined to be victims of this human and sex trafficking, that does not mean, sisters, that there's a value factor here. It doesn't mean that at all. There is no value factor here whatsoever. Because according to the U.S. Department of Justice, and this is some other stuff I found, and this is quite disturbing. Now, you had a lot of traffickers that were interviewed, you know, for a recent Urban Institute. It was a study. And a lot of these believe this is that value factor. See, even though black women and black girls are more inclined to be trafficked, we don't have value. It is the white woman. It's the white woman that has the value. She's the one that has the value factor. See, the white woman, even though she's not trafficked at the rate that we are, even though they're not trafficked at our numbers, they bring in more money. They make more money for the industry. They make more money for the traffickers. But the reason why we are trafficked more than these white women, who have the value factor that we can only dream of, is that trafficking us, be it human or sex trafficking, because we lack that value factor, them getting caught trafficking us, and this is a belief. I wouldn't be surprised if it's a fact. And it's a fact, I believe. And I'm going to explain to you in a moment why it's a fact. Okay, there's this belief that a trafficker just gets caught trafficking black women and black girls, get caught trafficking us, they'll get less time. The consequence won't be as great. They won't get as much time in jail. They're more inclined to get a slap on the wrist because we're not valued, we're not protected. So they feel that they won't get the prison time and they won't get the jail time should they be caught. Because see, you have to understand something. Where does that belief come from? Let's just touch on that for a minute. Where does that belief comes from? Where do these traffickers get that set up into their mind that if they traffic, if they engage in sexy human trafficking of black women and girls, that the punishment won't be that of white women and white girls? You know why they believe that? Let me tell you where that belief comes from. This is all historical. Human trafficking is nothing new. There are a lot of historical components to human and sex trafficking. And that reason being because up until, the height of the modern day civil rights movement of the 40s, 50s, and 60s, up until the Civil Rights Act, Voting Rights Act, up until a lot of these changes were made, and they're pretty symbolic, and I'll explain why they're symbolic. It was not a crime to rape, to commit unlawful sex acts against black women and girls. It was not against the law. It was not illegal to rape us. So if it was not illegal to rape black women and girls, it wouldn't be illegal to kidnap or anything else. Because the fact that it was a law that allowed black women to be raped and it not be viewed as a crime, we was without humanity. And see, without humanity, guess what? We're without that value factor. We don't have it. And see, by us not being valued, like you have the wow factor, we don't have the value factor either. So because we don't have that, we don't have the protection. Because anything that is valued, it's going to be loved, cherished, appreciated, and protected. We're not, ladies. We're without it. So this is why we have such large numbers of human and sex trafficking. You have people around the world, even in the United States, in spite of laws, quote unquote laws on the books, still believe that it's okay to rape, beat, batter, and bruise black women and girls. That's okay. They still believe that. Just like white supremacy and racism is etched in the mind of modern day Americans, so is the views on black women and black girls. To be able to rape, to sexually harass, to sodomize, and get a slap on the wrist. You got black women out here being raped, little girls, and nothing happens to the assailants. Because of the modern day sexualization of black women and girls, those laws, those antiquated laws, those laws that are supposed to have long been expurgated from the books, are still there. They're there in spirit. This is why black women lead black women and girls lead in human trafficking, sex trafficking. Many of us are never found. As the current fact, we have between 65 to 75,000 black women and girls who are currently missing today. And we don't hear anything about it. They can be in Dubai. They can be in Africa somewhere. Hell, they can be in Europe. They can be anywhere. Or they could be right here in the United States. Right under our noses. Being trafficked in every way that one could be trafficked. In any way one can be trafficked. This is what's happening with us. But because throughout history, it has been established and embedded that we are not protected. So this is why no one looks for us when we go missing. This is why nobody is concerned about what happens to us when we go missing. And that goes for our little black girls too. Go for the girls too. Goes for them. They're trying to do womb transplants so men can have babies. Black women are coming up missing for a variety and a myriad of reasons. And because we're not protected, and because antiquated America is still alive and well and systemic as ever, we have to understand that being one of the root causes why we have the highest percentage rate of human and sex trafficking. History is all behind it. History is root cause. And this is why, we are subjected at a higher risk, more inclined. Ladies, we got to be careful about everything and everybody. We can't even trust what's in front of us, much less what's beside us. There's just nothing there with regards to protecting us. We have to watch everything we do, no matter what we're doing. Everything from being in our homes, relaxing, watching TV, to going to your car in the morning or going to the bus stop. We have to be on swivel. We have to be on red alert. We don't have to tell anybody we're on red alert, but this is what we need to do. Technology has brought about a lot of new and different things. Take transportation. Our transportational systems and the way we get about and around town has changed in many ways with rideshare services like Lyft and Uber. Speaking of Lyft and Uber, the services, though they have etched themselves and became a vital necessity into our commerce and society and services, with those companies and those services brings about a multitude of risks and dangers, because these services have become such a necessity, for us. You have these traffickers who are now using Uber and Lyft for potential victims. Oh yeah. How is that happening? Why is that happening? It's happening because the services are widely used. It's happening because we look at it like a traditional cab service when in fact it's not. And another thing, background checks. Neither Uber or Lyft are doing background checks on their drivers. They're independent contractors. They're not wearing a uniform. They just had a little stickers or whatever on their cars. But these folks are not, the background checks are not being done. So you don't know whose car you're getting into. You don't know. And I'm going to tell you, there's a lot going on with Uber and Lyft. And I'm looking at it as a special bulletin because no one's talking about it. You know, because black women tend to be the ones that get affected in this arena too. But nobody's really talking about what's happening here with Uber and with Lyft. Now, I just want to give some safety tips here. And I'm going to expound on them. Now, with this special bulletin, when using these rideshare services of any kind, Uber, Lyft, a cab, whoever, because you got bandit cabs out there too. And bandit cabs are not new. They've been operating for a long time. These bandit cab services. They've been out here operating big time. Now, you have to watch out for all of them. I want you ladies to consider the following tips that I'm about to share here with regards to your safety. Because you got women out here who are being taken to locations different from their requested location and are being raped. In some cases, gang raped, beaten, robbed, and assaulted. In some cases, murdered. Okay? They're not really talking about this like they should. So, this is what I'm going to share with regards to what's going on with these rideshare services. Before getting in any of these vehicles, you want to get the license plate of the vehicle. You want to get the color, the make, the model of the vehicle. If there's any political stickers, any kind of bumper stickers, dents, anything that will make that car stand out and easily locatable, you want to get that information. Okay, and then at the driver, check the driver out. You know, you want to give them a strong look over like you want to do the vehicle. So there's a all points bulletin put out. They'll know exactly what car to look for. They'll have that license plate. And then you let them know that there's a dent on the right side or whatever. Or if there's a busted tail light, whatever the case may be. This is extra information that can find that car, even if they decide to switch plates. Now looking at the driver, look at him real strongly. You don't have to let him know you're doing it, but just doing it. Just do it. You want to check out his appearance, his race, his color, any birthmarks, scars, tattoos, height, weight, eye color, hair color, skin color, tone, his weight, approximate weight, what he's wearing, type of shoes he's wearing. If he's got any missing teeth, he's talking. We just got to scale him up and down. So we can have a clear-cut description of that driver in case he becomes a suspect. Also, when using these services, ladies, please try to have someone with you if you can. Always try to have someone with you when you're accepting these rides if you can. If not, if you must ride alone in an Uber or a share or a cab, whatever the case may be. If you absolutely must, there are some things you want to consider. Because when you take them by yourself, when you take them alone, trust and believe you're at a higher risk. We must understand, black women, when we step outside our houses, hell, each day we wake up, we are at a possible security risk. That's it. We face possible security risk every day we wake up, every day we lay down, every day in between. This is not a negative thing and nothing to feel bad about. This is something that needs to be known so you can, revamp your way of thinking and your safety and your security. Now, don't take these Ubers late at night. If you got to take it by yourself, try to do it as early during the day. Have your phone on, but watch the driver. If his phone is not lit up showing your ride, get out. Because if his screen is black, he probably canceled your ride, but didn't let you know it was canceled. You can check yourself. Check on your phone. And if it show your ride is canceled, y'all driving and that car come to a stop, jump out. Before you get in, check those child locks on the doors. Check them. Make sure they're off. So you don't get locked in the car and can't get out. And leave and have your window down. You might have to jump out of it. This is serious business. Have weapons on you. If you get in a car, they say, you can put all your stuff in the trunk. Don't do that. Put your stuff in the back seat with you. Because your stuff that you have in the back seat with you could become weapons. Your purse, everything that's in your purse, pepper spray, ink pens, pencils, knives, scissors. Whatever you got inside your bag can become a weapon. So keep your stuff in the car with you. Don't put all your stuff in the trunk. Put your stuff in the back seat with you. Canes, walking stick, I don't care. Crutch, whatever it is. Try not to take these Ubers late in the evening or at night. Don't use any rideshare services alone if you are inebriated. If you went out to the clubs or whatever, and you had one too many, and now you're in an inebriated state, do not use the ride service alone if you are inebriated. Because when you're inebriated, the first thing you lose is your sense of judgment. Because your resistance is gone due to inebriation, intoxication. So you got to be sober. Sobriety is the spice of life. It's the spice of survival too. Because when you're sober, you're more aware and cognizant of what's going on around you. Don't get in there drunk. You pass out. Because you got to be aware of your surroundings at all times. That driver, you go to talk to the driver, he ain't speaking to you. He constantly looking at you in the rear view mirror. You better make an exit plan to get out. Because he's watching you. And you don't know who he's texting on the phone while he's watching you. And you up here, you intoxicated, drunk, in there by yourself. You're ripe for the taking. So don't be doing no ride shares by yourself, especially when you're inebriated. And whatever you do, ladies, this should have been number one. Whatever you do, please, under no circumstances, should you ever fall asleep, do not fall asleep in the vehicle during the ride. Do not fall asleep. Not only do you not know where you'll end up, but you could wake up and find yourself tied up. You don't know where you can find yourself naked, hog-tied, God knows whatever. Do not fall asleep. Stay awake. Have your goddamn eyes open. Don't be on your cell phone talking. Don't be engaging in your phone. Because you got to pay attention to where you're being taken. Do not. You got to be aware. The worst thing you can do is get in there and fall asleep. When you get in there and you fall asleep like that, ladies, you are surrendering your very life to a total stranger who don't know or give any squat about you. You're on a gateway to hell if you get inside that car and fall asleep. That Uber ride becomes a gateway to hell. Yes, it does. Don't be getting in there falling asleep. And then while you're in the car, you're in the vehicle, turn on your tracker so people can track your phone. Text your family and friends. Give them the info that you have on the driver, the license plate, make, model of the car, what he looks like, what he's wearing, height, weight, race, birthmark, scars, tattoos, hair length and color and texture, all of that, eye color, all of that. Text that to your family and friends. So if something pops off, they'll have everything on this individual. And always remember, if you have an iPhone, you hit the power button 5 times, that sends a SOS signal. With the Galaxy, I think you hit it 3 times. Okay? This is serious business. We must understand, as black women, we are living in and basking in a clear-cut case of life and death. Every day. Every day. Us here. We're in it every day. Clear-cut case of life and death. Now another thing. Always carry protection. I ain't talking about birth control. I'm not talking about condoms. I'm talking about pepper spray, stun guns, tasers, knives, scissors, screwdrivers. That's what I'm talking about. A thing to break the window with. Tactical flashlight. These are items that you want to have on you for protection and self-defense. Say, for instance, you're in a car and you see the guy is going a different way. You better make him crash that motherfucking car before you get on the freeway. You bust him in the back of the head with whatever you got in your bag. Hell, ladies, go to your sock drawer. If you broke, and you absolutely ain't got no money to buy, not even so much as pepper spray, everybody got a sock drawer, goddammit. Go to your sock drawer, pull out a sock, a nice thick long one, and put you a D-size battery in it. Or you could put a golf ball in it. Or you could put a pool ball in it. Or you could put a nice round pebble in it. Padlock, anything. Put it inside that sock. And you can just bash them right on up. You go to talking to him and he ain't say nothing and he don't say nothing or get to saying talk crazy to you. You better reach over there and grab that steering wheel and start spraying or doing something. Make him crash that motherfucking car. Bust the windows out and every damn thing else. Make him crash. Make him hit a pole or a bus stop bitch or something. It's better to survive an accident than to be a hashtag. You don't want to do it, ladies. You got to carry stuff on you. Various forms of self-defense. You could take a cane and reach from behind and lock it around his goddamn neck and start pulling on it. Sure can. Things can be done. It's a matter of life and death. We're in a life and death situation every day of our lives. No matter how minute it looks. No matter how different it may seem, we are. See, ain't nobody caring about our life. We have to defend ourselves. Got to teach our young daughters, our young sisters. Got to teach them how to protect themselves. Carry rat tail combs. Vent brushes. Picks. Those metal clips that you put in your hair when you go to wrap your hair at night. All these things can be used. You have to carry all kind of stuff. We can't. We just have to be serious. If your ride shows up and you just ain't feeling them, you're not feeling right about the driver, something about the driver that spooks you, don't get in. Cancel the ride. Don't get in. Trust your gut feeling. That's all we got. That's all we got out here. We got to trust our gut feeling. That's what we got going for us. Ain't nobody else gonna do it. We have to do it. This is what's going on in the human and sex trafficking. American style. This is what it is, ladies. If you think this is just going on in Thailand or in Europe or Dubai or some exotic locale on the other side of the Atlantic, you are fooling yourself. It is going down right here. Right here, it is going down. Right here. American style. It's going on right here. As we speak, as we think, as we move about our day and our lives, it is going down. People have gotten so brazen, they're snatching girls up off the street in broad daylight. In broad daylight, being snatched off the street. The motivating factor, there's 150 billion motivating factors. 150 billion. See, we have been objectified for 500 years. We cannot allow this foolishness to continue to happen against us again. And if you have to crack somebody's skull to save yourself, to get away, then you crack it. You bust them upside the head with the strike sock with the battery in it. Oh well, you carry your lunch bags, ladies. You going to work? You got your little lunch bag. Put an ice block in them freezer blocks. Put one of them freezer blocks inside your bag with your food. You can knock somebody into orbit. One of them freezer blocks. I'll be displaying some things in our next video in this series. This is serious, ladies, and it's not getting any better out here. It is not. Nobody's talking about what's happening to us. You know what people do? People see you get attacked, they'll pull out their cell phone and they'll start filming it. They'll start videoing World Star, world, and all that mess. I did the back to the World Star. Yeah, and you could be getting, and your life is ending right as they're recording. It's like a snuff film. That's what these videos are. They're snuff films. When somebody record you being attacked and killed, that's a snuff film. A snuff film is recording somebody being murdered. It's a little more clandestine than that, but that's the end result. That's what a snuff film. Snuff means to take out, to kill. So if you ever hear somebody talking about a snuff film, you better get the hell away from them. Oh, no, no, no. You might want to crack them upside the head on the way out. Get to safety quick. You ladies out here looking to get in the entertainment industry? If you ask me, don't. But if you want to do it, if you must do it, there are safer ways to do it. Don't be answering ads online on Backpage and Craigslist. No. A lot of these ads that are online, ladies, human traffickers that are online. Human traffickers. This stuff is serious out here. So you follow those safety tips, whether you're in Uber, a cab, I don't care what it is. Because you have to understand something. When you get inside of a vehicle for a rideshare service or a cab or anything like that, you're handing your life over to them. You're putting your life and your existence all into the hands of the driver. He gets to control how you and when you get to your destination. And depending on who he is, he even determines if you get to your destination. Not playing out here. Not playing out here. We got to start exercise a little bit, cardio. So if we have to kick, fight, whatever, we'd be able to do it. Always carry weapons. Forget that fist-to-fist combat. You want to carry weapons, honey. Yes, ma'am. Ladies, you got an old pressing comb? Them old pressing combs, don't throw them away. Keep them. And put them in your bag. You can knock somebody's behind around the block upside the head with one of those. If you got some old bumpers, put them in your bag. This is serious business out here. This is serious business. Look at the money involved. So, since they're serious about maintaining that annual flow like that, we got to maintain that we survive. And be prepared to defend ourselves by any means necessary against anybody. So if you like this video, ladies, please share and hit the subscribe button and the like. There are more to come in this series, Human Sex Trafficking, American Style.